Ask any car owner what kills a hybrid, and the answer comes back almost immediately: the battery. It's the first thing people mention, the first fear that surfaces when someone considers buying a used Prius or a Camry Hybrid. The battery is expensive. The battery will die. The battery is the whole problem. But here's the thing. That answer is mostly wrong. Not entirely, but mostly. And the gap between what people believe and what actually happens to these cars over time is wide enough to cost owners thousands of dollars in misdiagnosed repairs and premature replacements. The real story is quieter, slower, and far more preventable than most people realize. The battery myth didn't appear out of nowhere. It makes sense on the surface. Hybrid vehicles run on a high-voltage battery pack. That pack is large, visible in the ownership conversation, and carries a replacement cost that can range from a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on the vehicle and the source. When something feels expensive and unfamiliar, the mind locks onto it as the single point of failure. That's human nature. Add in early media coverage from the mid-2000s that questioned whether hybrid battery longevity was viable at all, and a narrative formed that has never fully corrected itself, even as the technology matured dramatically. The truth is that Toyota's nickel metal hydride and more recent lithium-ion battery packs are among the most durable components in the vehicle. Many of them reach 200,000, 250,000, even 300,000 miles without replacement. Properly maintained, the hybrid battery is often not what ends the vehicle's useful life. What does end it? The system surrounding it. The components that no one thinks about. The slow, accumulating damage that happens quietly, invisibly, over years of ordinary use. Technicians who work on Toyota hybrids long enough start to describe them in a specific way. They don't see these vehicles as a battery with a car built around it. They see them as ecosystems, tightly integrated systems, where thermal management, electrical conversion, mechanical wear, and usage behavior all interact continuously. A hybrid is not a traditional car with an extra battery. It is a fundamentally different machine that shares some components with a conventional vehicle and adds layers of complexity that demand a different kind of attention. When one system is neglected, the stress doesn't stay contained. It spreads. It amplifies. And over time, what started as a small oversight compounds into something much harder to reverse. This is what engineers call system stress accumulation. And it explains why so many hybrid failures look sudden, even though they weren't. The damage was building for months, sometimes years, before anything was visible. Understanding this is the first step toward understanding what actually kills a Toyota hybrid. Start with heat, because heat is the invisible constant in every hybrid failure story that doesn't get told correctly. Toyota hybrids manage thermal load through two distinct cooling circuits, one for the engine itself and one dedicated to the inverter and the high-voltage battery system. These circuits are not optional backups. They are continuous active systems that run every time the vehicle operates. The inverter cooling loop in particular handles an enormous amount of heat transfer. The inverter is converting electrical energy back and forth between DC and AC continuously, and every conversion generates thermal output that has to go somewhere. The cooling circuit carries it away. When that circuit is working correctly, temperatures stay within the design envelope and components last as intended. When it's not, the heat builds. Gradually. Without triggering an immediate warning light. Without causing any obvious symptom in the first weeks or months. The damage is occurring at the molecular level, in the solder joints of the inverter, in the thermal interfaces of the battery cells, in the elastomers and seals that depend on stable operating temperatures to maintain their integrity. Coolant degrades over time. It loses its corrosion inhibitor capacity, its heat transfer efficiency drops, and it begins to allow microscopic oxidation inside the cooling passages. Dust and debris can partially obstruct the intake vents for the cabin air filter that feeds the battery cooling fan, a filter that many owners don't know exists and therefore never replace. A restricted airflow path means the battery runs hotter than intended. A hotter battery charges and discharges less efficiently, ages faster, and eventually develops the kind of cell imbalance that mimics a battery fault when the real problem was never the cells themselves. By the time the car flags an error, the cooling system has been the root cause for tens of thousands of miles. The fix for the battery warning is a new battery. The fix that was actually needed was a $50 coolant flush and a filter replacement done years earlier. The inverter is one of the most important components in a Toyota hybrid, and one of the least discussed outside of technical circles. Its job is fundamental to how the car works. It converts the direct current stored in the high-voltage battery into the alternating current that drives the electric motors, and it manages the energy flow in both directions during regenerative braking. In a typical hybrid vehicle, this conversion is happening constantly. Every acceleration, every deceleration, every transition between electric-only and combined power involves the inverter processing significant electrical loads. This is by design. The inverter is built to handle it, but built to handle it assumes a few things: adequate cooling, stable voltage conditions, and a maintenance environment that keeps the surrounding systems functioning within specification. When cooling is insufficient, the inverter runs hot. When the 12-volt auxiliary battery is weak, voltage irregularities can stress the power electronics. When the vehicle is used primarily for short trips with frequent cold starts, the thermal cycling becomes more aggressive than the system was designed for under continuous use. Inside the inverter are electrolytic capacitors. These components are sensitive to heat and voltage stress. Over time, they age. Their capacitance drifts. Their ability to smooth voltage fluctuations diminishes. And one day, often after a perfectly ordinary drive, the car simply doesn't start. Or the hybrid system warning light comes on without any prior indication. From the driver's perspective, the failure came out of nowhere. From the component's perspective, it was years in the making. The inverter doesn't fail dramatically. It degrades incrementally until the margin disappears. What makes this particularly frustrating is that inverter replacement is expensive, often comparable to or exceeding the cost of a battery replacement. But the failure is not random. It is the predictable outcome of operating a high-stress electrical component without maintaining the systems that protect it. There are two batteries in a Toyota hybrid. Most owners know about the high-voltage pack. Very few pay meaningful attention to the second one, the small 12-volt auxiliary battery tucked away under the hood or in the cargo area, depending on the model. In a conventional car, the 12-volt battery starts the engine and powers the electrical accessories. In a hybrid, it serves a different but equally critical purpose. It powers the control systems. The computers, the relays, the contactors that connect and disconnect the high-voltage battery. All of these require stable 12-volt power to operate correctly. The hybrid system does not wake up without a healthy 12-volt battery. If that battery is weak, the vehicle may refuse to start. Warning lights may illuminate. Error codes may appear that look to diagnostic software and to untrained eyes, like hybrid system faults or battery management issues. Shops have replaced high-voltage battery packs in vehicles that simply needed a new 12-volt battery. The cost difference between those two repairs is significant. A 12-volt battery for a Toyota hybrid typically costs somewhere between $100 and $200. A hybrid battery replacement can run anywhere from $1,000 to several thousand. The diagnosis is the difference. But the 12-volt battery is ignored partly because it's small, partly because it's familiar. Owners assume it functions the same way it does in a conventional car and will announce its failure with a slow crank or a no start. In a hybrid, the symptoms are more subtle and more deceptive. The car may start fine most of the time and then exhibit intermittent errors under specific conditions. Owners chase ghost faults for months before a technician who knows what to look for checks the auxiliary battery state of health and finds a cell that's been quietly failing for half a year. Toyota hybrids were engineered with a specific usage model in mind. Not a single type of driver exactly, but a range of conditions that includes a meaningful proportion of moderate to longer distance driving. The kind of driving where the combustion engine reaches full operating temperature, the high-voltage battery completes proper charge and discharge cycles, and the thermal management systems have time to stabilize and perform their functions. Short trips break this model, not catastrophically on any single occasion, but cumulatively and significantly over time. When a hybrid is used almost exclusively for trips of less than 5 or 10 minutes. The daily school run, the 3-block grocery errand, the commute that is mostly traffic signals. several things happen simultaneously that the engineering did not fully anticipate as a primary use case. The engine never reaches optimal operating temperature. It runs rich during warm-up. Deposits build more rapidly on intake valves and combustion chamber surfaces, and oil contamination from fuel dilution accumulates because the engine never runs long enough to burn it off. The high-voltage battery never completes a full charge cycle. It operates in a narrow state of charge band, which in nickel-metal hydride chemistry leads to a condition called memory effect, a reduction in the battery's effective capacity over time. The regenerative braking system, which depends on the battery having meaningful charge headroom to capture energy effectively, becomes less efficient. Fuel economy drops. The driver notices, perhaps attributes it to age, and doesn't connect it to a driving pattern that could be partially corrected. The fix here is not a component replacement, it's behavioral. Occasional longer drives, 30 minutes or more at highway speed, allow every system to cycle properly, clear deposits, complete thermal management routines, and reset the battery's state of health. Vehicles that get this mix of driving consistently outlast vehicles used exclusively for short urban trips, sometimes by a margin that is dramatic. Hybrids have a reputation for being low-maintenance vehicles. That reputation is earned. In some respects, brake pads last significantly longer because regenerative braking absorbs much of the deceleration load that would otherwise wear pad material. The starter motor is functionally absent. The alternator is replaced by the motor generator unit. There are fewer components that follow traditional wear and replacement schedules, but this accurate observation has been stretched in the minds of many owners into something it doesn't mean. That hybrid vehicles require very little maintenance at all. The fluids still matter. Engine oil degrades on schedule regardless of whether the engine runs continuously or intermittently. The hybrid coolant, the specialized non-conductive fluid used in the inverter and battery cooling circuits, has a service interval that Toyota specifies, and that is routinely overlooked because it doesn't appear on the standard maintenance reminder checklist that most service centers use. Transmission fluid in the transaxle, air fillers, spark plugs. These items follow service intervals that exist for the same mechanical reasons they exist in any other vehicle. When they are skipped, the damage is not immediate. It's gradual. A slightly dirty air filter reduces combustion efficiency by a small percentage. A slightly degraded transmission fluid increases internal friction by a small margin. An overdue spark plug replacement causes marginally incomplete combustion on every firing event. None of these things alone is catastrophic. Together, across 50 or 100,000 miles of small inefficiencies, they represent a meaningful reduction in system health. And in a vehicle where every component's performance affects every other component, where the engine load influences battery cycling, where transmission efficiency affects regen capture, where cooling fluid quality determines how hot the inverter runs. The compounding effect of deferred maintenance is larger than it would be in a simpler machine. None of these 5 factors operates in isolation. That's the point that gets lost when people look at hybrid failures as single-cause events. The cooling system that was never flushed makes the inverter run hotter. The inverter that runs hotter degrades faster under the electrical load cycles. The 12-volt battery that weakens creates voltage instability that stresses the power electronics further. The usage pattern of short trips prevents the thermal management systems from functioning at their designed efficiency. The deferred maintenance allows small inefficiencies to multiply. Each factor reduces the margin that was built into the system. And when the margin disappears, when the accumulation of small manageable issues reaches a threshold, something fails. Something that looks sudden. Something that gets diagnosed as a component problem when it was really a systems problem. And because the high-voltage battery is the most visible and most feared component, it often gets replaced when it was, in reality, the final victim of conditions that were created by everything else. The battery is not innocent, but it is frequently not the cause. The owners whose hybrids reach high mileage with minimal drama tend to share a few habits. They keep up with the maintenance intervals specified in the owner's manual, not the shortened list on the dealership reminder sticker, the full list. They replace the hybrid coolant on schedule, typically every 5 years depending on the model. They replace the 12-volt auxiliary battery proactively, not reactively, usually around the 5-year mark, or when load testing shows reduced capacity. before it starts causing diagnostic confusion. They are aware of the battery cooling fan and the cabin air filter that feeds it, and they replace that filter regularly. They take occasional longer drives that allow every system to cycle through its full operating range. And they pay attention to small warning signs, slight reductions in fuel economy, intermittent displays, minor changes in how the car feels during transitions between drive modes, rather than waiting for a warning light to force action. The difference between proactive and reactive hybrid ownership is not a large amount of money or time on any individual service. It is a different relationship with the vehicle, one that acknowledges complexity without being intimidated by it. So the next time someone says a Toyota hybrid is a gamble because of the battery, consider what that statement is actually measuring. It's measuring fear of a single component while overlooking the ecosystem that component lives inside. The battery is durable. It has been proven to be durable across millions of vehicles and hundreds of millions of miles. What isn't always durable is the environment that surrounds it, the cooling circuits that regulate its temperature, the electronics that convert its energy, the auxiliary systems that allow it to operate, and the maintenance habits that determine whether all of those things remain healthy over time. Toyota built a resilient machine, but resilience is not the same as indestructibility, and complexity is not the same as fragility. These vehicles reward understanding. They reward attention. And the owners who give them both tend to find that the feared failure, the catastrophic battery replacement, the sudden hybrid system shutdown, never actually comes. What they have instead is a car that keeps working, quietly and efficiently, for much longer than the people who never looked past the battery would ever expect.